After being here for over a year in the bar scene in Pattaya, I've seen my fair share of stupid tourists. But these three in this video top the list by far. Some of which took it way too far and could have even cost me my life. So today I want to share with you the three most brainless tourists that I've had encounters with while I've been here. Some of which were just rude and ill-mannered, and the others were just downright dangerous. Okay, so this one I remember vividly because it was only my second day working there. So it was about 7 p.m. on the night. These two Australian guys walk into the bar. I could tell it was the first time in Pattaya just by the look on their faces. So I started speaking to these guys. They'd just got to Thailand, first time here, just got to Pattaya, just walked onto Soi 6. It was their first day and they was just overwhelmed by everything. They couldn't believe they was in a place like this. And these guys did actually seem pretty cool to begin with. So they sat down and started ordering drinks, and the drinks were coming fast. They were buying drinks for themselves, drinks for all the girls, drinks for the maid, the bartender, the cashier, and me. Racks of tequila everywhere. In less than an hour, they must have had about 70 tequilas, and in the hour after that, they started getting very drunk and very aggressive. They started fighting with each other, then they started grabbing the girls around the neck, pulling them by the arm, and then we thought, enough's enough, let's just ask them to pay the bill and leave. But they didn't pay the bill. They said they would calm down and they would relax for a bit, which they did. So they calmed down, they relaxed for another half an hour, they was having some more drinks, they brought a load more tequilas, and then next thing you know, they start fighting again. So at this point, we just called the security to deal with them. So the security came, they dealt with them, and they ended up passing out in the bar on the floor. I was trying to wake them up for about 10 or 15 minutes, and then they started being sick everywhere, sick all over themselves, sick all over the floor. So we had to drag them outside onto the street. And for the next 3 hours, they sat there slumped up against the wall, being sick, while I was trying to pour water over them, as it was my job to get them to pay the bill. And just for a bit of context, if any customer doesn't pay a bill in the bar, I've got to pay it. And I really didn't want to pay that bill. It was about 22,000 baht by the time that was done, which is about $600, £472, and I really did not want to pay that bill. So there I am, pouring water over this guy's face, slapping him, shaking him, trying to wake him up for about 2 hours. So a bit of time passes and I managed to wake one of the guys up. I managed to drag him in the bar while he was still drunk. He said he was going to pay. He stumbled in his bag, he tried 5 different cards, he had no cash on him, and the cards he did try didn't work. So I took him to the ATM, and the ATM didn't accept his cards either. At this point, I'm thinking, what the hell, I do not want to pay this bill. This is only my second day here, and I've got a £470 bill to pay. What the hell? Anyway, I just told him, I said, enough's enough. Look, mate, I'm not paying your bill. Where's your money? Sort this out. I think he was trying to act more drunk, so he was trying to get out of paying the bill, to be honest. But then he went on to tell me that he's got money in his safe at the hotel. So me and the security take this guy down the street, holding him up. It wasn't too far away. We tell the hotel what's going on. We go up to his room to go to the safe. He gets to the safe, stumbling around, and then he can't remember the code. He's trying to put the code in about 5 or 10 times, and then the safe locks him out. At this point, I've just got my head in my hands again. But luckily, we told the hotel staff, and they had a master key, and they opened the safe for him. So they open the safe, he grabs the money out the safe, a bunch of Australian notes, and he throws it in my face, and he goes all over the place, all over the floor, and starts shouting and being aggressive again. At that point, the security just dealt with him, and I left and went back to the bar. So I went back to the bar, I saw his mate still slumped up the wall, some girls trying to clean sick off him, trying to give him water, trying to wake him up. He eventually woke up and stumbled home a few hours later, and I remember thinking at the end of that night, I hope I haven't got to deal with idiots like this every day, as it was only my second day there. And yeah, like I said, they was nice at the start, but when people get alcohol in them, you don't know what they're like. And I know you're Australians like your drink, but I think some people, like those guys, can't handle it, or can't handle Pattaya. Okay, so this next guy was a real moron, and I actually needed to take a week's break off work as the situation really annoyed me. So there it was a normal night in the bar, and this grumpy guy walks in, sits down, buys a drink, he's got a sad look on his face. I walk over to him and ask him if everything's okay. He starts telling me how he's upset because this girl had let him down. So he buys me a drink, we have a talk together, and then he asks me if I want to play a game of Connect 4. So we start playing, he wins a few games, I win a few games, we're having some drinks, having a good time, and then every time he starts winning a game, he starts flexing his muscles and doing all this and saying, you know, I'm the winner sort of thing. And then he starts asking me to feel his muscles, like trying to grab my hand to put on his muscles. And I'm like, I don't want to feel your muscles, mate. Just calm down. He was like unbuttoning his shirt and stuff, and he got really weird. But I entertained him. I was just humouring him, telling him to calm down. I don't want to feel your muscles. Let's just play another game. As he was spending a lot of money and buying a lot of drinks, he must have bought me about 40 drinks, most of which were tequila rose. And I chose to drink that as you get 5 drinks in one when you buy a rack, and it's like drinking strawberry milk. So he buys me a lot of these racks, and we have quite a few drinks together. Anyway, it's getting late. I've been playing Connect 4 for hours with this weird German guy flexing his muscles. And then I tell him, okay mate, one more game, because I wanted to get out of there. I was getting bored and I didn't want to play Connect 4 anymore with this weird German guy. So we play one more game, and then I win the game, and then out of nowhere, he rolls up his sleeves, starts looking at me straight in the eyes and says, I'm from Germany, you're from England, we're fighting for the bill. And I'm thinking, is this guy serious? What the hell? Anyway, I just said, look mate, I'm not fighting you for the bill. We've played a few games, fair is fair, just pay your bill and leave. He started being stubborn, like a stubborn child, crossing his arms, saying, I'm not paying the bill, we're fighting for the bill. And then he starts bringing up World War II and going on about all German and English fighting and all that stuff. And I'm just like, mate, just pay your bill and leave. Anyway, he doesn't pay the bill. I have to call security. The security come, and then he still doesn't want to pay the bill. I think his bill was about 9,000 baht, which is $245, which is about £200 or something. And I really didn't want to pay this bill. So he doesn't pay the bill, the security comes, he doesn't pay the bill again, and then when that happens, they have to call the police, and then the police came. And at that point, it was already closing time. So I went home and just left them to deal with the situation. So the next day, I find out he never paid the bill. He ended up in the cell. The police took him away, and I was told I needed to pay his bill, which really annoyed me because I didn't do anything wrong, and he just didn't want to pay the bill, and he was being a stubborn idiot. So I had to pay his bill, and after that, I decided I want a week off work because it just annoyed me, and I already worked there for quite a long time, and I just wanted a break. Dealing with these stupid tourists day in, day out does play on your mind mentally, just really annoy you. I didn't want to get angry or say something or do something that I didn't want to do, so I just took some time off, which I think was the right thing to do. After that, I never want to play a game of Connect 4 again. I must have played about 30 games that night, and I never want to play a game again. Now you get stupid tourists wherever you go in the world, but something about Pattaya seems to attract them here. They come here, they think they can get away with anything, they think they're above the law, and yeah, sometimes it's guys like me that have got to pay the price. Now we all like to have fun while we're on holiday, but there's certain limits, and you should always pay your bill wherever you go. There's been quite a few times when I've had to run down the beach, running after people that have run out on the bills. You're chasing them down, you've got sand all in your shoes, you're running after them, shouting, looking like an idiot. But luckily, they always end up paying. They're already pretty wasted at this point, and they're just trying to get out of it, and they never get away, especially when you've got security as well. But this next story is definitely the biggest idiot that I've met here at all. Stupid tourist in Pattaya, thinking he's a big man. Okay, so this next one is pretty short, but I want to share it with you because I think it's pretty crazy. So there I was in the bar, I think it was sometime around Christmas time, and the bar was full, there was customers everywhere, everyone was having a good time, drinking, partying, and then in walks these 2 American guys, big guys. They said there was expats, but I didn't believe them, because a lot of people say they're expats out here, and they're actually not. I could tell by the way they were dressed, the way they were talking, and the way they were acting, how they were looking, you know, at everything. I could tell they were pretty new to it. Anyway, I go over to these 2 American guys. We're sharing some stories, we're having some drinks, we're having a good time, and he buys me a drink, I buy him one back. You know, I'll go back and talk to some other people. I come back an hour later. They was in the bar for about 2 hours drinking, and then he buys me a rack of tequilas. We take some photos together. It's all good vibes. We're laughing, we're joking, and then out of nowhere, he pulls out this thing out his pocket, like this raptor claw looking, you know, weapon blade thing. And then he starts walking around the bar, looking in the mirror, brandishing it, doing all this, and looking at people, doing this, and I'm thinking, what the f is this guy doing? And then people are starting to notice this guy, thinking, who the hell's this guy? What the hell's he doing? And so I go over to the guy, I'm like, look mate, calm down, what are you doing? You can't have that in here, put it away. And then he starts looking at me all crazy-eyed, and then looking at me like I'm an idiot. And I was like, put it away, and I grab his wrist, I tell him to calm down. At this point, he's like tensing up and getting all weird. And I'm like, calm down, put it away. And then, yeah, the security got called. They come to the bar, they deal with him, take him out the bar. They've got one arm, I've got the other arm. And then he gets escorted escorted out and kicked off down the street or kicked in, I don't know. You never really know what these people are like in Pattaya or anywhere if they're carrying a thing like that. I was a bit scared. I was like, what the hell's going on? The other customers were more scared than me. I was scared for them. And yeah, you just got to be careful when people do this sort of thing. I don't know what he was trying to achieve. I don't know if he had any intent in using it. But when I confronted him, he started getting all weird with me. And I thought, oh, am I the target? And I didn't want to be the target, but if I didn't stop him, he would have started picking on another guy. He was acting like a big man, you know. You're here in Pattaya, he's brought this thing that he's found on Beach Road, showing it off in the bar, pretty drunk, so you don't know what could happen. You don't know what these people are like and what's going through their heads. But I will say that is the first and only time I've ever seen anything like that here in Pattaya, and I hope I never see anything again. You see these things being sold everywhere, and you know, you can buy them, so people do buy them, but I've never seen them being pulled out and put in people's faces and sort of threatening people, you know. But if you guys have got any similar stories, or you've heard of anything like this, of people getting these things out, using them, let me know in the comments, because I'd like to hear them. Cheers for sticking around till the end of this video. Check out the links in the description. You can support the channel by buying me a coffee. Cheers guys, peace, see you in the next one.